Good day.
How are you? Look at me.
I'm good.
Wait a minute. Let me get situated. How are you? You're good today?
I'm good. Pull down a little bit because I can just see.
Let me get some things together. How's
There
that?
we go.
How's that? Let me get. I was trying to be comfortable sitting here in my big comfy chair. Is that good? Is that
Kind of
better?
cut off. You kind of cut off a little bit.
Wait a minute. See, this is horrible. You mean to tell me I need a tutorial on this?
Perfect. That was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how are we today?
I am well, thank you. I'm moving slowly, but I'm getting it. Hold on, let me just adjust my volume. So okay. I should have put my AirPods on, but it's okay.
You sure?
I'm good. It's all right. It's all right.
So it's been like so long since I've seen you, and you know I've been stalking you for probably a few years now, and you know this.
No. We don't call it stalking. No. Wording. We call it. Let me see. We call it staying in touch. You know, from
Yeah.
afar.
Okay. Okay. All right. So how have you been in all this mess?
You know what? Like I've been telling everybody, I have been all right. I have been prayerful, faithful,
Yeah.
and just hopeful. Quite honestly, riding the wave, because I feel like every day there's something new. We don't know what we're getting, what we're going to get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we're jumping into a surprise moment to moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you know what? I'm grateful to be here to do it. So I'm not. I mean, I don't have any.
Absolutely.
I don't have any.
Absolutely. And you're still working.
Praise God.
Yes. I was so elated to see that. At first, I think I saw that the concert next week was canceled, and then I saw that COVID be damned, and
Yeah.
I was like, yay for them.
I mean, you know what? Like in the beginning, I think we all had that initial panic,
Mm-hmm.
when the pandemic started, and I panicked for about 30 seconds because there was nothing I could do anyway.
Right.
There was nothing, absolutely nothing that I could do it, and nobody but God upon whom I could call. So I got myself together and said, okay, just sit tight. And
Cool.
when the calls started coming in about working, I mean, the first gig, I cried. I think I went live because I was telling everybody I was so I was in awe. Number one, that I would get to actually see some people, and so.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very passionate and emotional anyway. So that's.
So just so people know what we're talking about, clue them into the Rehoboth Beach Jazz Festival
Yeah.
and what's going to be going on.
The gig that I was just talking about was one that we did a few weeks ago in Cape May, the Exit Zero Jazz Festival. But
That's right.
yeah, that was when I went live because it was my first gig in 6 months to the date.
Wow.
Excuse me, my first gig. So I was so emotional about that. But the other gig about which we're speaking is the Rehoboth Beach Jazz Festival, which is coming up August 16th through the 18th. And I am beyond excited about that. It's like a reunion for me.
Yeah.
Rehoboth Beach Jazz Festival. It's like a family reunion. So I'm excited.
And that's cool. And the only other person that I know on there personally is Jeff Bradshaw. So shout out to my brother Jeff Bradshaw.
Yes! Jeff and Asa, Alex Bugnon. Oh my goodness, there's some other people whose names are escaping me right
Some
now.
heavy hitters on that bill.
Yes.
Heavy hitters.
Yes. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I keep looking to my left. I'm so because my left is from my right, but my little co-host here, my so I know that we're living in a COVID lifestyle now.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a 2-leg or a 4-legged child, you have a co-host. So
Yes,
my 4-legged co-host here, my baby girl.
That's what's up. That's cool.
And
those companions are important. They really are.
Absolutely.
They keep you sane.
Yeah. They do.
So let's go back in time a little bit.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about your beginnings. There's the term that was coined. I guess Wendy Williams coined it, calling people from Philly who dabbled in the earthy of the arts dirty backpack kids. And a lot of people don't know that you came from those beginnings, the Five Spots and, the Roots and Jill Scott's, and, they don't know that you go back that far. Talk about your beginning, how you got started.
Yeah, well, my beginning, so I actually started, I was singing at a wedding. Deneen and Mike Young, and James Lassiter was one of the groomsmen, JL, who was at the time managing Jeff and Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince,
Mm-hmm.
A. Will Smith, and the magnificent DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
He asked me if I'd be interested in working with them, and I said, I mean, of course, absolutely. So he put me in touch with them, and at the time they were working on Home Base, their project Home Base.
Mm-hmm.
From that came Summertime, and all of that. So they were near completion of that project, so they offered me the tour. They offered me to tour with them. So I started writing in the studio with them, and my first tour was with them. That was how I actually started.
What a way to go out the box, though. That's major. First
Yep.
time out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But to continue that, coming back home, of course, Philly is the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. I mean, we say that, but it really is, especially back in that time. So all of my friends, we were out and about. We would go to Blue Funk, because Blue Funk, I was the poster child for Blue Funk, so that was my home.
Oh,
Blue
wow.
Funk, and I would go over to the Five Spot all the time for everything that the Five Spot had, but particularly and especially, all the events at which I would see my friends, Jag, Kindred, everybody was there.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody that was there. And I was there the actual last night when before the fire at the Five Spot.
Yeah. That's heartbreaking.
I think it was Agent 15's 8th wedding anniversary.
Mm.
I think at that time, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. And they just celebrated another anniversary.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Black love. I love love, but I love love, especially.
Yeah.
So the Roots though, when I worked my first project, Moments Like This, I worked with James Poyser, Charles Childs, Axis Music Group. The studio was right next door to the Roots room. So that was how Tariq was on my song. Excuse me, I Don't Wanna. He's on the beginning of that song.
Wow. So did you have musical aspirations? You said you were singing at a wedding. Did you have musical aspirations before then? Like, how deep were you into music before you were singing for cash?
Prior to that, I was singing for cash. That sounds so wrong. Oh my goodness. But no, I loved music and I loved to sing, but my family used to tell me, oh, she can't sing, shut up and blah, 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 blah. So
wait. I'm sorry. Hold up. They told you couldn't sing?
Yeah, well, you're a kid and you're singing and so I used to sit with my uncle's albums. He had a stereo. He had a speakeasy. So he had a nice little stereo and all these he had albums for days.
Yes.
I would sit and listen to the music and I would sing to it. But whenever I was around my family singing, they would say, oh, child, please. Child, shut up. So, I just thought, okay, well, I can't sing. But I aspired to be an anchor woman. I had actually gone to Temple studying communications. I'd studied communications to be an anchor person. So.
And that's funny because when I was talking to you on the phone yesterday and I hung up and I told my friends, I was like, she sounds like she could be on radio. Like she has a very, very eloquent speaking voice.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's from where it comes. I've always had an interest in communications, in radio, in television, in film, and that was where it all started for me. But when I love to sing and I love music, so when I sang at the wedding and they offered me that opportunity, I couldn't pass that up. It was something, another facet of who I am that I love.
So I guess at the point when you were singing at the wedding, you were already comfortable performing and singing in front of an audience at that point.
Well, yeah, because you know what? I should start by saying too, when I was in high school, I sang in a band, a local band called the
Okay.
Master Level Band. So that was where it started, but my
Okay.
professional career started with Jeff and Will.
Okay.
I mean, we made money singing with the local band because we did gigs, but it was it was a different, a different plane, different platform. So yeah.
So being on tour, at what point, I should ask you this, at what point did you know that it struck? Like this is something that was sticking and this is something that's going to be my career. When did you officially grasp that and know that?
It was actually that tour, that first
Yeah.
tour that I did. Yeah. Because it was a 10 rap group tour. And
Mm.
toward the United States, it was the most incredible experience for me. I mean, on so many levels. Number one, because I got to do something that I love like every night, and then I got addicted to just being in the tour bus and moving from one city to the next, and then being around like the camaraderie. It was really cool. It was really cool because everybody loved everybody else. Everybody was like, yo, your song, this and that, and blah, 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 blah. So, it felt good. It felt wonderful. Yeah.
So you came back off tour and you started, at that point, did you start recording on your own? Did you write when you were out on tour?
I did not. No. When I
Mm.
was out, well, no, there was no. And especially back then, I hadn't, I didn't even know anything about like actually recording myself or doing any type of production then. I was
Okay.
so happy. I was so green. I was so happy to be on the road. I was so happy just learning, I was learning everything, while we were on the road. So no, I didn't start writing I wrote when I was at home.
Okay.
It wasn't until later tours that I started taking my laptop out and then writing and doing things like that. But now that one, no, it was all about performing and just learning tour life for me. Yeah.
And who are some of your idols? Like, who are your influences?
I've always said Nancy Wilson is the epitome of
Wow.
femininity. Her diction, her phrasing, her choices, like she's phenomenal and amazing to me. So she starts it, and then of course I have Gladys and I'm Patty, and the list goes down. And then Stevie. It's like they're always each one of them has something about them that I think is so phenomenal that I mean we all do. So.
And speaking to that, like when you grace the stage and you open your mouth to sing, there is a regalness a regal spirit that comes about when you open your mouth and your presence on stage. I don't know if you are cognizant of that, but you really do command attention and you make people, as some people say, button up and listen because you demand that with what you
Wow.
bring to the stage. You really do.
I appreciate that, but
Yeah.
I take the platform very seriously. Like
Mm-hmm.
just don't. One of my favorite quotes is, "To whom much is given, much is required,"
Mm-hmm.
and being on a stage is a very large platform. I don't care how
Mm-hmm.
big or small the stage is. You are in the position to command and receive attention. So that's a huge platform. So I take that very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is a compliment to me. I really do appreciate that because I
Yeah.
don't lightly having anyone's attention.
Yeah. I think the last time I heard you perform was at Shirley Ralph's Divas. That was that was the last time I heard you sing.
Yes.
And I had a buddy there with me, and he was like, "Oh wow!" He was like, because he wasn't paying attention. He was like, "Is that Jill?" And I was like, "No, that's not Jill." And he was like, "Who's that?" I said, "Her name is Carol Riddick." And he was like, "Oh, she really can sing. She reminds me of Jill a little bit." I said, "Yeah, they do kind of sound similar." I said, "But wait for it." But just wait.
Oh.
And then you went to that space up there, and he was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, she's different."
It's a huge compliment. every time I hear it, you know, the comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge compliment, but I do also appreciate my individuality being recognized. I
Mm-hmm.
most certainly do. Not as well. So I appreciate.
In the course of your singing or learning how to sing, when did you know, or did you find that out on tour as well? Like, when did you know the dynamicness of your voice and what you could really do with your instrument?
Co-host. I'm sorry. You know, actually a good question. I don't know that I actually ever thought about it. I
Mm.
didn't, because it's an experience. Whenever I get to perform, it's an experience for me as well. And the way I explain it is, music is my ministry. It's my gift. I recognize it as being my gift. So it's my ministry, and I get lucky that I too am being ministered to. So, little girl, I'm sorry, my co-host is joining. Little girl, thank you, thank you. And so I don't think of it that I've never really thought of that. My focus has always been, you know, trying to be present and in the moment. So I don't know what I do sometimes. I really don't. I don't.
I had a conversation with Melba Moore once, and I asked her the same question. And she told me one day she was singing, and when she projected out, she heard her voice come back at her from across the room. And at that moment, she knew that it was something outside of herself that she was reaching.
No.
And
Thank you. Yeah.
there she is.
Yes, yes. Yes,
What's your
my
name?
co-host. This is Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
No, thank you, mommy. I'm getting kisses. I'm getting love now. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So my welcome. My co-host has joined. But
How old is Chloe?
Chloe is 2. She will be 3 in March.
Does
Yeah.
Chloe sing with you when you sing around the house?
She does not. She stares at me. She looks at Chloe just stares like as if to say, "Oh, okay, we're doing this again." And then she'll go on and get into her bed. Like, I think I annoy Chloe. I think I do.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I annoy her. I do. But that getting back to that, I've never that's really interesting, and I can understand how she would say that, but I am so present in trying to relay the emotion and the message itself that I don't have a clue what's coming out. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. What exactly is your range?
I don't know.
I mean, because it seems like you go on forever, and I'm a sucker. I'm in love with sopranos. If you can sing sopranos, like I'm at your heels. Like, oh my God,
You know, and the funny thing is, so um, I always thought I was an alto, and I loved singing alto notes. And I don't even know when the moment. It was so funny because Gordon Chambers said to me once, he said, when the hell did you start singing up there? He said, I never even knew. I said, Gordon, I don't know. I don't know. But it was just a natural progression for me. It was
cool.
whatever feels comfortable and feels good to me. That's where,
Hmm.
that's where I go. And
And I do know because at some point in time in my life I had studied voice myself, and I do know that when you're in the moment and you are feeling that emotion, you can do things that you didn't even know that you could do because the emotion and that energy conveys that.
that's because it's our ministry. It's not about us. So
Yep.
that's what I always tell people. Like, when you remove yourself from it, when you allow your ministry, when you allow God to do what He does, like,
Hmm.
you reap the benefits. So
Hmm.
what I'm saying, I try to let go as much as possible. Just let go. Just be present in that moment, so that I too can receive,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
is intended.
So if I were to raid through your playlist, right,
Hmm.
give me like 5 artists who you're listening to right now.
Oh my goodness. Snow Allegra, SZA. I love them. Um, 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 Alexa always messes this guy's name. What is his name? I can't think of his name. And he said this one song that I keep on repeat, and I can't think of it right now. In any event, those are the times. What is his name? Ro.
James?
Yes, yeah.
Ro James. Yeah, I like Ro James.
Yeah, so those three I've been listening to on repeat lately.
Okay.
Yeah, but those are like the more current people, because everything else, I'm a Dr. Buzzard's Original Savannah Band like junkie.
Oh, I just put that on my playlist. That is my childhood. That is my childhood.
Sunshine, what? Don't get me a hit on the go, because I got your project. Okay. Yeah, and Switch. So Dr. Buzz's Original Savannah Band and Switch are my old school. Like,
you ever thought about remaking any of those Dr. Buzzards?
No, I never did. Because you can't.
That La Femme would be perfect for you.
But you can't touch. Come on.
You can't touch, but you can touch. You can't touch, but you can touch.
You hear that, mommy?
And I don't think anyone has ever really done it before. I know they've done it in the realm of hip hop, because Ghostface had a version of it that I love. Yeah. But I think you would murk it.
I might have to think about that. I don't know. Because you never want to touch a classic unless unless you like own in your spirit that you can do it some justice, and
Yeah, that's true.
All the time. Well, I look so. Let me tell you, I'm looking at myself right now. I keep trying not to, because I look so tired. I couldn't sleep last night. Yeah, mommy.
I can't tell that you look tired because your glasses. I can't see your eyes.
Look at. Thank you, God, for small miracles. Thank you, thank God, for small.
And I keep forgetting how funny you are. You are hilarious.
No, it's it. I said, oh Lord, heavens to Mercantile. I said, please, God, please, can you put a special filter or something? Because I'm like, I need a little help. And I'm not coffee. I was like,
I'm glad you came to talk to me. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this for a while now. You're one of my favorite singers, and I just love, what you bring to this medium, this platform.
All sentimental, really making me.
Well, anytime I see you, have to see me gushing. Like every time we run into each other, I gush.
You know what? I love it though, because I'm such a love bug. So I love it when I get I love it when I get love. I love it.
Yeah. So, and what's anything going on after the Rehoboth Beach Jazz Festival?
Yeah, well, so Gerald Beasley and I have been recording the Nina Simone project, on which we've been working. We've been doing it live for quite a minute now, but we started recording it. So I'm excited about it, but I'm scared too, because you're talking about Nina. Now, first I was intimidated to do her live, but the more I learned about her and the more I started researching just who she was as an individual, it felt more empowering to me to do it. It just felt more empowering to me to do it. So now I feel really good about it, and I'm anxious and excited for the project to come out. But yeah, and I keep saying I'm going to start, because I want to do it. I finally feel like I'm in a place where I want to release another project. But it's so I'm so all over the place. I guess that's just me being the creative that I am, but I can't decide what exactly I want to do. So I've been taking my.
So how are you in the studio when you are recording? Are you one of those one take ladies? Or are you a super perfectionist where you have to go over and over and over it again?
You know what? I come from that school where you sing, things multiple times until you get it right. But the emotion for me is in the first or second take. It's like, for me, when I sing it down, like when I'm writing a song, it feels to me like that's the best take. When I put it down, it feels to me like that's the best version of it. So it's weird because I'm used to singing it multiple times, but I feel like with each additional take, there's less and less emotion. That's how I feel. But
I can understand that.
Yeah, but I also try to let go because I am a perfectionist and I will fix it
Mhm.
until it is completely broken. So,
Okay.
so I try to let other people do what they do.
And who are some of your, you don't have to shout out all, just some of your favorite producers, like some that you like to be produced by?
Well, you know what? I have to say, working when I did my very first solo project, James Poyser,
He's the best, man.
he's phenomenal. He's awesome. He was so it was so great working with him because I could share my ideas without feeling judged.
Hmm.
And because of how he communicated with me, he would let me know if he was feeling it or if he was not feeling it, but I was still intact. I was good. We would always be able to come to a happy medium if it was something
Hmm.
we did not agree. So I would have to say, just his manner, his creativity, his contributions, like everything. It was cool.
That is so dope. And you're originally from Philadelphia?
I am
Originally?
I am born and raised in South Philly. Born and
Oh,
raised. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, look, I'm saying hi, y'all. I need to clean my glasses. So I keep looking. But yeah, born and raised in South Philly. I went to Hallahan High School in North Philly and Temple.
Okay.
I see Brian. Wait. Oh, Brian, I told the story of us most recently. I see Brian Moore, where we went on tour and you left your sticks. I had them laughing at us. We were overseas. We were overseas, and I'm about to tell the story again. So don't be mad. Don't be mad. But we were overseas, and we were doing a USO tour, and we had so much fun. So much fun. I missed those. And Brian had left his sticks. I don't even know where we were. I can't even tell you. It was literally like being on another planet, but it was awesome. But we had already gotten to the airport, and it was like a 3-hour drive. But they
Uh,
had to get his sticks, and but we had a ball. We had a good time.
so I hear a lot of performers talk about being overseas and they love it over there a lot better than the States. Can you attest to that? Can you corroborate that?
Yeah, actually, well, like I stated in the beginning, I love performing wherever I get to perform,
Right.
and because I love the energy. Whatever you bring, more often than not is what you get in return. And
Mhm.
but being overseas is a different energy. It's not better. It's a different energy because you're exposed to a whole nother lifestyle and culture and a different group of people. So
Mhm.
it's an energy that I embrace it all because it's love at the core.
Mhm.
But there's a different it's a different appreciation. That's all it is because you're at home when you're in America and there's an appreciation here as well. But when you're overseas, you just have another understanding of what is happening because this is someone with whom you have, you know, a gap, and the music that you're bringing seems to bridge that gap. So
Yeah.
a completely different appreciation. That's all it is. But it's all love, like I said, at the core. So I love it. But I love being overseas because I appreciate the differences. And
Yeah.
I'm just that little sponge. I like travel.
What do you want? What's one of your favorite cities abroad?
Goodness, let me tell you something. I could live in Belgium. I could live in Amsterdam. I could live in Austria, Vienna. I could live in Switzerland. I could live a lot of places for different reasons. But let me be clear because I've never indulged, because people always ask me about being on the road. I've never indulged. So Amsterdam is not the reason that I would like to live there. I love
Yeah.
I love the architecture and I
Mm-hmm.
I'm a
But it was really beautiful there.
it is so beautiful. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Well, I don't really have anything else to ask you. We're chatting away. I love that you took this time out for me. It's been a long time coming for me. And when it comes to you, I'm a geek. I am. And
Look,
I thoroughly appreciate this time.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you asking. I said, yeah, why not? I mean, I know, for years I've been in my shell. So
Hmm.
I said, I don't know what took for me to be 50 to start coming, like cracking my shell. But, here I am. So I'm just glad to be here and glad that you extended the invitation.
Absolutely. So I guess I have to ask you this too. During this time, I know we talked earlier about, the quarantine and COVID, and
Hmm.
how do you manage your day to day just in dealing being an artist, because everybody doesn't understand the life of an artist and
Hmm.
how artists live, and it's not your regular 9 to 5, get up, go to work. It's not structured like that.
Hmm.
How does an artist of your caliber deal with, like, now, and possibly being quarantined and COVID-19? How do you deal?
It's been a recurring conversation because mental health has been a huge topic, for obvious reasons. No, we're all left, we're left with ourselves. And
Hmm.
I started off finding things that needed to be done or taken care of. I started off doing that. But then as time grew on and I started finding myself becoming frazzled, and I actually consider myself to be one of the lucky ones because I've had opportunities to work. But
Hmm.
but in the times that I've not, I've just focused my creativity on different things. So like I started a podcast, um, which brought me back to my roots of communication,
Hmm.
or I should say expanding, because me being a vocalist is also exercising one of the facets with regard to communication. But doing a podcast has allowed me to do that as well. And I've done more recording at home. Prior to, I was always going to a studio, but it's actually helping me to hone my skills being at home and recording vocals on my own, which I've done in the past, but now I'm learning more things. I'm actually improving upon something that I was already doing. So I have been extremely blessed and fortunate to like in praying and asking God to help me stay focused and to help me maintain some semblance of sanity, that
Hmm.
to do so, because it's so easy to become unraveled. It's so easy. When you're used to going, you're used to, having something to do every day, and you're used to looking at your calendar and saying, okay, I got this, and this. And then you're saying, wait a minute, I can't do this. I can't go there. I've really been extremely blessed in that I'm able to focus my energies and do exactly what I was doing, but to add some other things to it, because I've actually been more busy.
Well,
Um,
that definitely is a blessing.
it's a huge blessing that I do not take lightly. I really
Right.
take it lightly. But
Is
again,
it?
again, it's easy to unravel. So I'm grateful to God that He gave me that it's resilience. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That He
Yeah,
gave
absolutely.
I'm allowed to tap into that, because you can go either way.
That's true. Are you familiar with Trina Browser? Broussard. I keep saying, I always hear her last name.
Yes, yes.
So I spoke with her recently too, and I asked her the same question, and we were talking about, it's okay to not be okay, and to understand that you're not okay, because we're living in unprecedented times. So you're going to feel unprecedented.
Absolutely.
And there are some things that you may have to do outside of your comfort zone just to snatch back some realm of normalcy. And she was saying the same thing like you said, about she's starting to come out of her shell more because she has to, and she's embraced it.
Same here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had, it's been, like I said, it's been a recurring conversation because we're all trying to figure out and navigate today to get to tomorrow.
Mm.
There is no normal. And quite honestly, what we considered normal prior to this pandemic, it wasn't so good. It wasn't
No.
good. So I'm grateful to God for the shakeup. To be,
Hmm.
I mean, I can't say that I'm happy about what the shakeup is, but I'm
Right.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to get it right. I'm grateful for the opportunity to fix it. I'm grateful for all of that, and I'm just prayerful that when and if we do come out of this,
Hmm.
that I'm here to see it when we come out of it, because I never thought I'd be here to see this. But
Right.
I'm praying that if I'm here when we come out of this, that I'm able to transition to a better normal. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, yeah, because it's so real. It's okay not to be okay, because I really do believe God is trying to sit us all down and say, look, okay,
Yep.
now I haven't been happy for some time now, but right about now, I'm giving you the opportunity to look into you, because we're being called
Yep.
to be by ourselves. We're being called to be with, if those who live with family members, we're being called to come together. So we better get it right. We better get it
Right.
together. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
So, in full disclosure, this platform that we're talking on is my new podcast, which I work with an actor, also fellow singer, music writer, performer, David M. Rain, and he and I are co-hosts for a new show called No Lies Detected, which the first 5 episodes we're talking about voter awareness, planning your vote, encouraging people to vote. It's very political and it's very
It's stress.
in your face.
It's
Say
stress.
that again.
It's very
Yes.
stressful. Yeah, I mean, in your face, but you're right. You're absolutely right about it. But we are at the absolute perfect time to affect change. You
Mm-hmm.
to affect the change that we want. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I kept saying, "OMG, Derek." Oh my God, I love Derek. Listen, I'm so sorry because I couldn't see before, okay? And I just saw Derek's name pop up. I can't see, y'all. Let me tell you that. I can't see. I saw Brian pop in, and I don't know who else was in here, but I just saw Derek. I love you. I love you too, Brian. But and I love all of you whose names I did not see because I cannot. I need to clean these glasses, but I can't take them off because I look a mess. So in any event, they're my outfit right now. My glasses. Isn't that crazy? Yes, because I didn't sleep last night. So getting back to what we were saying, let me reel myself in. Voting. I've had the conversation about voting, and I kept saying I want to do some sort of voting push or campaign, but it's so in your face right now. Everybody's talking about it. Vote, 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 vote. So I decided not to do so. But at the same time, I think it's so important. And I think it's important to exercise the vote that you do have, the voice that you do have.
Mm-hmm.
We need change. We
Oh
all
yes.
know it. We all know it. We all understand it. We all recognize it. But now is the time to effect that change.
Yes. And everyone is so hypersensitive, like right now, what's going on.
Oh
To
yeah.
the point, on my, absolutely Chike for conversations with Chike Evans with this what this is, I was actually put in Instagram and Facebook jail because I put up a post and I don't know if you've seen the post. It says vote because we can't. But in between the letters were all the fallen people that were murdered by police officers. And some woman decided to go underneath my post and put a post of her own and say because they were criminals. And underneath her post, and I said to her, I said, well, I encourage you to read more and get some more information before you put posts on my page. And then I went to her page and I just started scrolling through to see who she was. And I saw that she was an avid supporter of the other side.
Mhm.
And she was very ignorant in some of her posting. So I came back to my post and I said to her, I went through your page. I now know who you are. I'm going to cancel you. And I blocked her. So I guess she reported me, and that's what put me in social media jail.
You know, and I've had the conversation. Well, the point that I'm about to share is that I've had this conversation as well a lot too. That we live in a world now where we cannot amicably disagree.
Mm.
And we
Mm.
live in a world now where if I'm talking with you about whatever the topic, and you don't share the same opinion that I share, I'm mad at you. I'm angry with you, and I want to fight you. That's the world in which we live right now, which saddens me
Yeah.
because we're all in this together. That's the bottom line. We're
And, have,
all
and no one gets out alive. No one.
Thank you. We're all in this together. It's okay for me to say to you or you to say to me, well, I don't know. I don't really agree with that because I think blah, blah, blah. We're adults. We should be able to effectively communicate. That's what we should be able to do. But we should also, at the core of it, be able to do so in love and with love. Now,
And respect.
and hello, at the
Hmm.
very least, respect. And that is a challenge that I'm having now. And another reason that I haven't been able to just decide how I want to share my opinion, because, you know, I'm sensitive. I'm very sensitive. And I too will be upset if someone comes at me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And I might not want to be nice, but I don't want to open myself up to that, because I really do believe that we should be able to effectively communicate, especially and particularly as an adult,
Yes.
supposed to set examples for those who come after us. We are supposed to do so. And right now, I feel like there's so much evil running amok.
Yes.
There's so much.
Yes.
There's just so much. So I'm sorry that you did have that experience. And like I said, it saddens me that we are in a world now where we cannot amicably disagree. I don't understand
It's gonna
it.
be all right because there's somebody else in charge.
Hello, hello,
Yeah.
hello, hello. Yeah, I agree with that too. I,
All right, sis. I'm not gonna keep you any longer. I thoroughly thank you and love you for sharing this time with me.
thank
And
you.
I have another platform, the Stephen Knight Show. If you would please, when you release your album, your Nina Simone project, please come on and share some of the music with us and talk about that project.
I will be happy and glad to do so.
Absolutely. Much, much
Thank
love and
you. Much love right to you.
thank you.
Have a
Bye
good
bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.